The original kings of podcasting, starring Mark Chambers and Todd Perry. Episode 4, Con Men.
Original kings of podcasting.
That's right.
Todd Perry.
Mark Chambers.
So, we had been accused on a previous journey we took.
Yes.
Because life is full of life is a tree. Yes, there you go. Can you on that? Just no.
I could. It's already off.
Oh, helicopter.
Cheers me.
Cheers. Here you go. So we were accused many times of mastering the long con, where we would do bits that kind of ran over multiple shows, stuff like that. And I think we did a good enough job at, pushing it down the road, pushing them. And earlier,
all these beer bottles,
so many beer bottles. And earlier today, before our recording session, you took me to task on Twitter.
Yes.
And
that will, at this point, probably have been months ago.
Yes. But I'm going to think that probably between now and when people finally hear this show after we've produced the original Kings of Podcasting, that there's probably been more negative interactions that we've had on Twitter.
Most likely.
And
today's was just but a birth of our what will become known as intense public hatred of each other.
Yes. I mean, I want to get to the point where it's like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis. Like, I want my wife to start a Twitter account so she can start slandering you.
Yeah.
Right.
I really... So I was in my hotel room.
Yeah.
I got a hotel at LAX. I flew in late last night. And got a hotel and then just immediately crashed, went to bed. Woke up this morning getting ready to...
So there was no $16 porn charge on the television?
No, I bring my own porn these days. I got the Chromebook.
Oh.
Yeah. If you haven't tried a Chromebook, there's never been a better time.
Is that a good for porno?
It's good for porno.
They should have that in a little star on the top of the bucket.
In the corner. Good for porno.
Right.
It's just disconnected from the rest of the spec sheet.
Right. It's good for porno.
Good for porno. So I connected it to the hotel internet.
Yeah.
And watched a little porno on it and then went to bed.
I mean, the hotel internet, what did that cost? $12, $13 an hour?
Actually, I tethered to my phone. I should be more specific. So I got free porno because I have unlimited data on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah. So watch a little internet.
Unlimited porno.
A little unlimited porno.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good. You know what? At this point, I'm in my 30s. I don't even have to finish. I just watch the porn and fall asleep.
At this porn, you're into
I just, I can finish in my sleep is a trick I learned from Todd Perry.
Well, it's the nocturnal emission. Now, if Muriel Hemingway shows up, then she's been cheating on me in nocturnal emission dreamland.
You know what? I find that highly efficient to kind of
have one girl that runs I'm like, oh, you gotta guys have strippers that they'll you gotta see Clarissa over at the Bear Elegance, or I got a Thai masseuse girl. I'd be like, I have this dream girl that gives me wet dreams. You should really use her sometime.
Yeah.
Watch Personal Best with Muriel Hemingway.
Yeah. And then, I can watch a little pornography to start the night off right and then fall asleep halfway through, close the laptop, and then I can finish while I'm asleep.
Right.
I get the sleep and the the finishing.
The release.
Yeah, the release, if you will. Yeah. I wake up in the morning. I'm getting ready to go do my morning routine, have some breakfast, then come down here and do some pod. Yeah. And I'm looking at Twitter and I decide there's never been a better time to start my feud with Todd Perry. And I don't text him ahead of time. I just drop the fucking hammer.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in town, tried to hook up with Todd, won't do it. What a mensch.
Yeah.
And I actually had to fall back on past Mark. Because I've improved, and we'll cover this, I'm sure, at some point over the OG King's life cycle. But I've softened and I've changed my style a bit over the years, and I feel like Mark is a dick.
Okay.
And Mark's going to be really self-important and want people to know that he was wronged
by Todd Perry. And when you tweeted that, I know that there's obviously some overlap in our Twitter followers.
Yeah.
Because of previous
engagements.
And I thought immediately, well, I got to take the high road on Mark Chambers here, right? Because
As you would.
As I would, if this was a authentic anger, then I would try to high road you on that, because that's how I work. And then Mark would just I would assume, get deeper entrenched, and then try to take me out at the knees.
Oh, I'm holding out. I'm gonna wait until I get drunk later tonight, and then I'm just gonna
really start
come
railing
at
me?
it. Yeah, attention. You know, it will. I don't want to spoil it.
Good.
IRL in real life. Yeah.
So you came at me like that, and then suddenly some of our mutual followers were like, "Oh, there's beef," and then people started to get upset, and I started thinking slightly like, "I hope people come to my side. I hope people know that through the history they judge me as probably a more decent human being than Mark."
Sure. I mean, if history is the judge, yes. So if I'm looking at like the microcosm now, like my where I work now and my life in San Francisco, I want to be seen as a good guy.
Okay.
But if I was
that will not work well in the context of doing this show.
if I were to allow for
I'm the Dave Grohl of this show. Okay.
if I were to allow for the history of the show and the history of our history, I guess I should say, just to allow for our history. No one's going to take my side.
Okay.
No one's going to come to the defense of Mark Chambers, who once went ballistic for 45 minutes on Todd for liking Blur.
Yes.
Yeah.
History has proven me.
It's borne out in your favor.
Yes, it definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Band called the Gorillas born that up. But no, so Damon Albarn's next project after Blur. But anyway, so if people will, by the time they come to this show, oblige us the fact that we worked a little bit of a long con.
So that was the long con.
Coming into this to make people more excited when the show hit.
Yeah.
Because I think,
these are two people that would never be in the same room together.
Yeah, and that makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
And the fact that I am personally always dealt with the fact that a previous show that Mark and I did together, people hold in very high esteem.
Like 7 people.
Yes. But I hear from them all the time.
It's like it's 15 people.
Yes.
So many.
It's almost 17 to 18 people.
It's not 20 though.
Right.
No one's got any delusions.
Right. And so because of that, coming into this, it was like, oh, well, let's make sure people don't think that's ever going to happen.
Right.
And then it'll be more fun when they get it.
I like that.
Yeah. So, but that's definitely not the work of somebody on the up and up, and it may cost us a little bit of public distrust.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a con.
Yes. So I was thinking, if this was successful by the time people come to this show, that means that, we could probably do okay in the world of professional con men.
Okay. Oh, he's fat with prep. Look at that. He's fat with prep. You ever
Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
You ever see like a female dog like just fat with children that hasn't quite given birth yet? That's Todd, and he's just so stuffed with prep.
I just want to gush prep all over just a dairy product of prep into the listener's mouth.
So much.
Just let me put the mic on my boob.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So much prep. Yeah, you haven't heard. You don't hear this shit on Mark Maron.
Oink.
So I'm guessing that these cons are going to be cons that were not quite so altruistic or not quite so hot gotcha. It's actually a good thing.
Hot gotcha. Hot gotcha. Was that an old man thing?
Gotcha.
All right. So here's some cons throughout history that we should admire. There was a guy named Victor Lustig, a Bohemian-born hoaxer. Wait. Okay. All right, Bohemia. Okay, now we're not talking about Silver Lake.
Let me pull up my Chromebook and Google Bohemia.
It's where the beer's from, which I believe is somewhere south of Germany. Like the cool Germans are Bohemians.
It's in the Czech Republic.
Really? No, but the Czech Republic moves around. Like the Czech Republic was like in Spain in the 40s.
Bohemia is a historical country of Central Europe, occupying the western 2/3 of the traditional Czech lands.
And they were loose women.
The capital of Prague would lie within the borders of historical Bohemia.
I feel like you'd sell more tickets, like just from a tourist perspective.
Okay.
If you called it Bohemia versus Prague. Everybody in the world that calls themselves a Bohemian would be like, oh, let's go to Bohemia. That's our place.
Constantinople.
Yes. And he posed as a government official to quote unquote, and there's air quotes in the prep. That's how pregnant it is. And he posed as a government official to sell the Eiffel Tower as scrap metal to the highest of 12 bidders in 1925.
Wow.
The winner, Monsieur Poisson.
People participated in this.
A monsieur, by the way.
Monsieur.
Not just some jackass.
No, Monsieur.
And he was so humiliated when he realized he had been conned that he told no one. And Lustig escaped to Vienna with a suitcase full of cash. Tell me, what feels better in life than absconding to Vienna with a suitcase full of cash?
So I'll be, this time next week,
Absconding to Vienna?
I will be, not quite, but probably a day away from flying to Switzerland. And I've been asked many times, well, if you're going to Switzerland, what are you hiding there while you're there? And I almost feel like it's
the Eiffel Tower.
I almost feel like it's a waste of a trip to Switzerland if you're not hiding something in an account there while you're there.
I've got a Rolex bequeathed to me by a dead uncle. Maybe you could shove that in a safety deposit box in Switzerland.
You know, the Swiss franc is very strong right now.
Oh, yeah.
They uncapped it.
Meaning?
I don't really fucking know.
Wait, isn't the franc like French money?
No.
Isn't that why it's called the franc?
No, the Swiss...
Isn't the euro? Don't Swiss people, aren't they in Europe?
I only have one chroming session per show. I can't look this up for you.
You won't get back. Okay, so we'll let the listeners on their own
do your homework.
Figure out the strength of the Swiss franc
Or the Swiss money.
the Swiss
But yes.
MON with a line over the E.
Money.
So maybe if they call Julie Andrews from or Carrie Underwood from The Sound of Music, and they can figure out the value of the Swiss.
Correct. Carrie Underwood,
So
correct.
now I want to know the guy that feels like, because I don't know what kind of metal, because we can't chrome this obviously, but what kind of metal? I think it's steel that probably the Eiffel Tower is made out of.
It can't be anything fancy because it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't think it's made
French.
It's not made of gold.
No.
It may be bronze.
Then you just chip at it, and then you go buy a baguette with it.
Right.
Up the
Yeah,
street.
but then you can't fit it through a doorway.
You can never make through a door with a
I've
baguette.
never understood why they make them that way. That you can't fit them through doors. Do people eat them out on the streets?
They have to eat them outside.
That's weird.
They have a thing called baguette tents.
I've never left the United States.
And it's sunbrella fabric on top, and you sit beneath it, and you eat your baguette.
Really?
And they have double-headed baguettes.
What?
And people enjoy them.
What's the double-handed baguette? I don't tell me.
One goes in the box,
Oh my god.
and the other one goes into a French box.
Let's move on. What's the next con?
Ferdinand de Mara, or the Great Imposter.
El impostado!
As he came to be known, he worked in the United States as a civil engineer, zoology graduate, a doctor of applied psychology,
Okay.
a monk.
He's all over the place.
I don't believe you work as a monk.
I found work as a monk.
You kind of do time. There's no 401k for monks.
Yeah.
Maybe Obamacare.
My monk insurance ran out. I've got monk Cobra.
He was a prison warden, philosophy dean, hospital orderly, a lawyer, and a teacher.
Never in the circus.
So he's kind of like Zelig. During the Korean War, he successfully performed life-saving surgery on several Korean casualties.
Wait, if it's okay, so that doesn't mean dead. It means wounded.
Casualty?
Right.
I've always seen casualty as you're dead.
No.
I
I wish I could chrome it, but we already used that.
It's done.
I
Next show.
I used it too soon.
Next show.
I'm sorry.
You fucked it up.
I'm
You
sorry.
used your Chrome on insignificant information.
Where's Bohemia? You didn't know and now you do.
I wish I didn't. He performed life-saving surgery on several Korean combat casualties brought by the Royal Canadian Navy. Brought the Royal Canadian Navy destroyer while he was posing as a doctor. News of his heroics eventually unmasked him, and the resulting media attention untimely prevented him from continuing his fraudulent lifestyle. But I figured this is a guy that you need to continue with that if you're saving lives.
So this is kind of like, that reminded me of like Frank Abagnale, which was
He was on this list, but I took him off because I figured people would know who he is.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah. But that,
I mean, I don't mean to shit on your point.
No, I'm not
you
even.
You are a king of podcasting.
Here's the thing.
So.
Here's the thing. I'm not even gonna make it now.
Really?
No.
Is the show going to devolve into this?
It's gonna go there.
Are we bringing the fight from Twitter into my garage?
No, I was just saying, like, so he picked professions, like professional areas of endeavor where people typically have degrees, and then he operated in them in what would typically be known as unskilled. Like he would be unskilled in the minds of professionals, but he did it.
Right.
He learned enough about it to do it without actually having the skill.
Right.
So there's a weird line between, are you an imposter or are you actually doing it?
Right.
Now, I have a unique perspective on this as someone who never went to college.
Yeah, you are a professional white collar imposter.
I am a white collar imposter. Yeah. Absolutely. There's if you Chrome imposter syndrome, which we can't. There's a whole mental state.
There's no way we could do that.
I used it up.
Yeah.
We already used it, but there's imposter syndrome. This is where you believe that you do not belong in the job you have. So what is this where you believe you do belong in the job you have, but others don't? So I guess that's just actually being an imposter.
Being a con artist. Yeah.
Okay. I struggle with that. If you're actually saving lives, why are you an imposter?
Well, because eventually...
You're going to kill someone?
Yes.
With your lack of knowledge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now there was Eduardo de Valifierno, who referred to himself as the Marquise.
Oh, God.
I'd love to refer to myself as...
I want to refer to myself as anything. I don't refer to myself. I let other people refer to me.
Your name is Mark.
Yeah,
Marquise. It is short for Marquise.
Oh, God bless it.
And he was a con man who allegedly masterminded the theft of the Mona Lisa.
What?
Yes.
But he didn't pull it off, clearly.
No. Valifierno paid several men to steal the work from the Louvre. The thief then hid the Mona Lisa under his coat and simply walked out the door.
It is smaller than people realize.
Is this like a Wes Anderson film?
I really hope there's a tiny flag.
Someone absconding into the night with the Mona Lisa out the door?
Dear thieves.
Yeah, right. I can just see Ray Fiennes walking in there.
Please give our painting back. Signed, the curators.
Right. And it's like in really cute handwriting.
Yeah, the curators, yes.
And the movie's called The Curators.
Yes, yes.
And Valifierno commissioned a Frank art restorer and forger to make 6 copies of the Mona Lisa that were shipped to various parts of the world, readying them for the buyers he had lined up.
So there is an episode of Doctor Who...
Oh, boy. I turn off my mic.
Oh, boy.
No.
That I just realized is based off of this story.
I mean, he stole a Dalek.
It's a very similar, no, it's an older, it's an old school, it's not new Doctor Who. It's classic Doctor Who from like the 70s, 80s. There's an episode where where
it looks like Whitney and the Robot.
Yeah, they go back through time. There's time travel involved, of course, but there's someone who has master forgers forging paintings and putting them in real galleries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it works.
Yeah, so this is a historically significant con.
Yeah. After the heist, copies were delivered to their buyers, each thinking they had the original. So this is where the guy's the mastermind. He didn't steal the Mona Lisa to then just sell the Mona Lisa to one person.
He sold it to copy it.
He told 9 people he's stealing the Mona Lisa. And then news hit the Mona Lisa has been stolen.
That's brilliant.
And then he had a guy make 9 copies.
God damn, that's smart.
That's pre-internet.
You know what that is? That's called credibility.
That's called the deep game.
He established credibility.
Yeah. And then people heard he did it, and then...
So what we have to do is we have to get people to independently tweet that we're fighting.
Yes, that we hate each other.
Yeah.
With a passion of 12 hot Tatooine suns.
So, based on the tweets and after the tweets, Todd grudgingly agreed to meet up for drinks and canceled something else. And then they got into a massive fight at the bar.
And then Mark started, and then someone has a photo of you like with a schooner trying to hit me with it. And you're like knocking a Marlboro light out of my mouth.
Yeah. That's smart. That is theft purely as a way to establish credibility.
I like the greater thing was, and I like that the longest con we've run is that when I left the previous Endeavor show we did, it was just a long con that would eventually we'd do this show, and we just this long running arc,
Yeah.
and then eventually we just landed the train here.
We'll just do the same show. No, I'm kidding.
Well done.
Yeah.
Where's John, by the way?
Oh.
You fighting with John? Is that why John's not in here?
Legitimately, yeah.
Freddie Tinkleman?
Freddie.
Yeah.
A tax has been levied on all humble subjects of the original kings of podcasting. To show your loyalty to the crown, please donate a few farthings at ogkings.com.
What's the next con? Give me another con.
All right.
I thirst for con.
I thirst for con. Robert Henry Freegard, a British barman, car salesman, con man, and imposter.
How can you be a con man and an imposter?
He's good.
Oh, God.
He's so good.
Oh, my God.
Who masqueraded as an MI5 agent and fooled several people to go underground for fear of IRA assassination.
Oh, my God.
So, okay, he's a barman.
Okay.
So he's working at a bar and he's like, hello, I see that you're being looked at by the MI5 for possible assassination. Why don't you pay me? Give me some of those Swiss francs. And
They're very strong right now.
yeah, and they're very strong right now. And I will hide you underground in Belfast. Wait, why am I suddenly going Hasidic? I don't know. My Northern Irish accent needs a little bit of work.
Oh, it drifts into his seed.
Are you Jewish? Remember, I used to sit outside the J-Date building smoking, and a Hasidim would come up and go, excuse me, are you Jewish? And I go, no, and they just walk away.
No.
Yeah, no business with you then.
No. Come on.
He met his victims on social occasions or as customers in the pub or car dealership where he was working. So you have the guy coming in to buy the really nice... I was trying to make a reference to an Irish automobile, but I don't think...
What is an Irish automobile?
My mother had a green Pinto, but I feel like Pinto is a Spanish automobile.
That's an American automobile built by Ford.
And they looked at the basic constructs of the Spanish Pinto bean, and they designed the fuel cylindage and the basic power workings off of...
So if you've ever seen a Pinto bean on a desk and you flicked it at a surface, like a bottle...
Well, usually I flick it at somebody making like an NFL upright.
Yeah, see, if you do that, it's fine, which is what they did. But then when you flick it, like if I were to flick it at the side of the mixer, it would just explode, which is what they based the actual Pinto on.
If you hit it in the back,
Yeah.
it's whammo.
Yeah, it's just gone.
That's why my mother always tailgated. He would reveal his role as an underground agent for MI5, Special Branch, or Scotland Yard, working against the IRA. He would win them over, ask for money, and make them do his bidding. He demanded that they cut off contact with family and friends, and then make them go through loyalty tests, and of course, live in poor conditions. Now, I figure we could do this around LA. Like, you could go to places where, there's like gangbangers and shit.
Sure.
Yeah. Like where I'm going to move in Long Beach.
Right.
And I could walk around and be like, hey, you may not know me, but I'm CIA.
Oh.
And I see what you guys in the 9th Street locos are doing.
When they're not robbing you on the streets?
When they're not busy robbing me on Alameda Boulevard.
Yeah.
And be like, you know what? But gang recognize gang. And that's always a way to neutralize any power distance.
It's like, listen, I've been robbed in the past by you guys, but I just want to know. I like what you're doing. I recognize what you're doing.
But the only problem is the Long Beach PD has recognized it too.
Yeah.
So
You need to take them deep down.
Yeah.
Take them into deep cover.
I could take you guys under deep cover for a couple months.
Yeah.
You guys just, throw me a couple ducats, you get some money flowing in here. I'll protect you.
Yeah.
Or if not, your name's going to go out on the streets.
You need to scale back your operations a little bit.
Yeah.
No beatings.
Mm-mm.
Keep it low key.
Yeah, keep it clean.
Keep it smart.
Stay in your head.
And then just kick back a small percentage to me. And then you'll be good. So here's the beauty of your con.
Yeah.
I'm all about the altruism.
Yes.
You're keeping
Pro bono cons.
pro bono. You're keeping the streets safer, and you're on the take. I love it.
You're playing both sides. But,
Yeah.
but also you're profiting off of keeping people safe. Yeah. So it's a total win across the board. Now,
That's a good con. By the way, you're gonna get shot dead, not like in the hospital shot.
no.
Someone's gonna eventually know that the guy in the fisherman's cap with the weird almost over
Comb over.
comb almost over.
Yeah.
Not quite on the level with regards to the CIA.
It's clear I'm an informant. Just normally, you talking to me right now in the room, it's pretty clear.
Yeah, you are. I'm just checking you out. Boat shoes, cargo shorts, fisherman's hat, pink fish on the side.
Nordstrom's penguin shirt.
You are the man. You are the definition of the man.
I'm the man trying not to look like the man.
You are the man trying not to look like the man.
But he can't help but doing what he does.
This guy clearly is going home to his paid for by the man family.
Yeah. Now here's the thing.
You're gonna go to the man credit union and cash your checks that the man gave you and drive your man issued car. Like, it's all over you.
I feel like Martin Scorsese could really direct the perfect end to my life where I'm taking something. I'm taking breakfast. I'm taking brunch. I'm taking a massage.
Yeah.
And I'm at some place where I'm very vulnerable
Yes.
because I'm enjoying myself.
You're just on the take. It's openly on the take.
Just so on the take, but I'm
Yeah.
at ease at this moment.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. And
Right.
then one of the 9th Street locos plows through the door.
Boom.
Right through the eye.
Got it. And then and it's just like this is very slow motion as your
Wait.
skull explodes.
Wait, how about we have music here that doesn't apply?
Do we have any royalty-free music that would not apply at all to the situation?
Because that's what Scorsese does. He plays the exact opposite. So he'd play like that Neil Diamond song, "Sweet Caroline,"
yeah.
as my brains are getting blown all over Long Beach Boulevard. Oh, Meng Lee, I'm really enjoying this this massage here. You're really getting done. I've been conning people all week,
Yeah.
and it's taken up so much of a toll.
Oh, Mr. Perry.
You know I tip you so hard. I tip you long time.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Perry. You're so generous.
Just go in my wallet and grab a couple bucks.
Oh, of course, Mr. Perry, of course.
Take what you want, Bailing. Then, what happens?
The door creaks open.
Hello? Hey,
You're
what's
just so
going on?
relaxed.
And I'm just so open to everything. I'm naked.
You just hear the gun come out, and you just hear like just a slight click.
And then I have that moment where I'm such a badass, I accept my death.
And then
I
here's
look
the
him
thing:
in the eye.
Beiling looked over, and she saw him walk in, and she's like, and he goes. He puts his finger to his lips, and, shh, and she leaves the room through an heretofore unknown back door.
Now he doesn't start rubbing my back in place of her.
No, you're like
Good.
Beiling.
Bailing. And my face is in that little donut hole when
Yeah.
you're getting a massage.
And then
Bailing.
and you're just your head just explodes.
brains
Just
all
brains
over.
everywhere. And you see just like the slow motion, like while this music plays, just like the blood like on the wallet.
By the bone of my scalp just flowing out.
Yeah,
like,
on the pants, on the suit. You see the jacket hanging on a hanger, and there's like a white flower in it because that was your thing. Yeah. It's just like and blood all over the white flower.
What about my white fisherman's hat that's hanging in the corner?
Oh, it's just hanging there, and it's just like blood all over it. The cargo shorts just hanging, just like draped insignificantly over the chair, like just because all of what made you, all of what was your signature is just given such an insignificance, just destroyed.
But I kept the con going so long.
Yeah,
I kept the ball in the air.
Yeah, and then we're all at the club and we don't give a fuck. And we're royalty free.
9th Street Locos, we don't give a fuck. 9th Street Locos, we don't give a fuck, cause that's what loco means. It means I'm crazy, cause I don't give a fuck, cause I'm loco, bro. You want me to pay a tip on that beer? I don't give a fuck, cause I'm loco. I'll tip you 25% at the building. I see it, I'm wearing pants that are too tight, but it's okay, cause you don't know that I am loco.
So beautiful.
More fantasy riffing just like in show 2. This time it's not business, but con jobs they'll do. But the ones being conned are those listening to the original king.